eating them up.
The group's manager, Peter Leeds, searched for an answer that led him to the office of Larry Utall, the president of Blondie's record label, Private Stock.
They didn't understand that in order to break a band, you needed to spend money and work hard. And they wouldn't. It's not going to work. We'll be in constant conflict, and at the end of the day, we'll all lose because there'll be no success for this band at this rate. I want to buy the contract. He said, it's not for sale. I said, Larry, everything is for sale. He wanted $1 million. I said, Larry, we're not talking about Led Zeppelin. They sold 17,000 albums. You know what? 30,000 people have seen them in concert. What are you, crazy?
Leeds pushed the negotiations to a settlement at half the asking price, leaving the band without a record deal.
So now I just committed to $500,000 that I didn't have. But I had a first album, and I had track from the second album, and I went around looking, to parlay it into a new record deal.
I knew that Chrysalis was the biggest independent label in the world. So I mentioned to Peter Leeds, why don't we go for a big independent like Chrysalis?
One day I'm in my office and my assistant said, I've got this guy called Peter Leeds on the phone who says he's the manager of Blondie, would like to talk to you.
And we didn't expect anything would happen. Here's a guy who's got Jethro Tull, Procol Harum, all these album-oriented, fantastic musician bands.
So he said, well, Terry, how would you like to have Blondie on the Chrysalis label?
And I ultimately was able to interest him. He came to New York, and I took Terry to see him, and Terry understood immediately. I mean, Terry just focused right on Deborah Harry, and as soon as he saw that face and the charisma and the magic that Deborah Harry has, Terry knew.
When you come across a good band like that has that something extra that makes them stand out, then that gets you excited.
And then it was negotiating a contract that was long and arduous and difficult, and he almost walked out on me a couple of times.
In the middle of the whole thing, I just said to myself, wait a minute, am I crazy? It's a little punk rock band, and I'm going to pay $500,000?
He wrote a check, got us off Private Stock,